Hello there, everybody. Sweet mother of God, Sheena, what Philosophy 101 university textbook did you pull that from? It's like the mother of all... the mother of all trolley problems. What would your VTuber persona do? Agonize on it for ages and ages until it's like close to being too late to make a decision. Attempt to go, fuck you, I refuse to engage with the moral quandary. Attempt to take a fourth option, completely beef it, and end up with option 3. That's probably how it would go. I never really liked those moral quandaries because I'm no good at them. Stuff like the trolley problem, I would attempt to take a third option. Everyone thinks, oh yeah, with the trolley problem, I would simply derail the train with my mind or something like that. But I would attempt to do that and then just like completely beef it. Anywho. Get that one up on Tumblr, Sheena. It'll do numbers, I'm certain. But, that one's they're all equally bad in its own way. Yeah, that's something straight out of fucking Warhammer. Like... Anywho, we're back with what might well be the ending of The Shadow over Cyberspace. So, we are now on December 22nd. The ending is approaching fast, and like I say, depending on how things go, we might hit the strange eon.
Hey there. So Christmas is coming up, and we'd really like to. No. That's not how I should start this. Okay. I think I was a bit unfair. I was unfair in how I treated you before. Really chewed you out over the phone after that birthday party, didn't I? And that wasn't right. I shouldn't have done that. I saw Henry's blog. His sister and I like to swap recipes, so sometimes I check it out, and I saw pics from your computer thing. Sounds like you really needed some help just to go play games, so maybe I definitely overreacted. I shouldn't have downplayed what you're going through or put demands on you. It should have been enough that you wanted to visit. So, for Christmas, we're going to get together, and we'd love for you to come, but only if you're feeling up to it. And don't worry about gifts. I know driving out to the store is probably really hard. Let's just celebrate, like we used to do. So, yeah, sorry about all that, and I hope I can see you again soon.
Dang, that was a change of tone. Yeah, last time she was kind of really mean, so... Getting better at pacing myself to avoid chronic pain issues. I have a better frame of mind around them as well. Even if gifts are optional, maybe I can swing one this time. Hell yeah. We're gonna do it! Alright. Breakfast. Howdy, Clyde. Yo, what up? It's seriously short notice, but I could use a hand with something. If only. I need a Christmas gift for my nephew. Hands with a last-minute holiday shoppers isn't really a good fit for your physical condition, yeah. God. Yeah, I know I've said this about 12 times, but me not being disabled or differently abled in any sort, I'm very up and mobile, I'm just lazy. But even then, it is hard enough getting Christmas gifts. I cannot imagine what it would be like struggling through if you're someone who has chronic pain or can't walk around for extended periods. That must be a bastard. Okay, consider me Santa Clyde, now available in Kocho variety. What do you need? I mean, I'm not demanding help with this, I know you have your own stuff going on. To be honest, knowing that we were never under real threat was just a bunch of overprotective cult jerks takes a lot of pressure off my little gang. So yeah, I can go grab a toy and deliver it to you before the big day. The kid loves digi-hunters, but most of those toys have artificial minds, except for the Hunter's Keep playset. Kinda hard to find, though. Ooh, hot item. Meaning this is a challenge, and I dig challenges. Don't underestimate a cybercriminal's ability to find rare consumer goods. I'm sure you could fudge a Craigslist ad so that you're the only one who gets it. Good man. Reimburse you after. Damn right I am, and damn right you will. Later. Hi, buddy. Let's get to work. Oh, I spy Clyde's little ghost hanging out back there. I think we have encountered a bug. Okay. We don't have any research to do. Consider me surprised. Okay. Well, that makes my life easier. So... okay, nothing new going on right here, but yeah, so... with this one, we should be able to finish off with, Pasteur. And then, so that's... Nyarlathotep, Nyarlathotep. Yogg-Sothoth, Yogg-Sothoth. Yes, so we should have enough. We should have enough that we are able to get everybody fully on side. We've managed to save enough humanity that we should be able to... Okay, so we want to talk with Pasteur. Have a good time. What's wrong? Dealing with a human resources crisis. It's belittling to call it a management issue. Dismissing the real problem trivialises the sin. Gotta fix this. Not just spin it, but fix it. Okay. Enact punishment, seek justice. What's... My trust has been betrayed again. When I explained the plan for Carcosa and the truth about artificial minds to my executives, I made myself abundantly clear. We do not conscript, we do not enslave. We sell the idea of immortality as a gift, but our chosen few are always given a choice. Yet my chief information officer, the one who laid my church stone by stone, building the server architecture of Carcosa, forcibly converted his secretary into an artificial mind. Covered it up using the same processes we'd used to help the Royal Court's volunteers vanish into cyberspace. Free labour, absolute control. Worse, I've seen the log. He took pleasure in humiliating her and making her perform for him. Not going into details, the details sicken me. All that happening right under my nose. Holy shit. Prefer not to utter profanity myself, but I'd say that's a fitting declaration. My anger is equalled only by my disappointment, my sense of abject horror at what's happened here. Yeah, he likely blames himself. Yeah, being cynical is not going to help. King, you feel it is your royal duty to protect members of your court, meaning you failed her. hired a predator and she suffered because of your lack of judgment. He's out of line, but he's right. Failed in every level, failed at protecting a young employee, and failed when I put my trust in that man. Best and brightest, Robert. I'm supposed to only hire the best people who can be trusted to do what they do without micromanagement. Right. So he thought he could operate with impunity. Don't tell me you still have loyalty to him after what he did. Of course not, he shattered my trust like glass. I loathe him. Reserve actual hate for the truly deserving. My hate is no small thing. Yet the fact remains that I do owe him a great deal. Gratitude. It's important to express gratitude to those who help you. Reconcile this. One of my closest partners on the Carcosa project, an absolute genius who I assume shared my vision. One thought should not cancel the other, or should it? Does evil outweigh good? This is a strangely mixed feeling unbecoming of a strong leader. So my answer here would be play into that. Make it clear that you trusted in this man and he has betrayed that trust. So clearly all of the good work that he has done was purely transactional, and he thought that he could leverage that to get away with stuff, you know? I think I'm just going to go with number one. Secretary, the one forced into digitization, she's more important. By fixating on your CEO, it lets the great man overshadow the one he hurt. Toss him aside and figure out how you'll fix this for her. There we go. Stop the bleeding, then worry about the rest of it. We'll address the damage done first and foremost. I can bring her into my court, elevating her. She can't return to flesh and blood, but can be saved as best I can. But it will be a choice. If she wants nothing to do with Carcosa, I'll set up a private server for her elsewhere. She'll be protected. But I do need to deal with the traitor as well. The final circle of hell is reserved for traitors, but I'd say there is no deep enough abyss deep enough for him. So it's on me to pass final judgment. What are you thinking? Eye for an eye. Him feels too clean, too corporate. He flees with an NDA and a golden parachute. No, I cannot allow him any sort of reward. If I am to be king, I must hand down a royal punishment. No one so severe that none will defy my singular rule in the future. Okay, he's... no, he's running away. He's running away with it. Seriously? But time and again you've told me that you hate the idea of conscription. It needs to be good... I'm not usually one to go for the slippery slope argument, but... Oh, hey, Toothflower. How's it going? Okay, so fun fact, I've been working out more, because I've been a bit of a sedentary lump these last few weeks over the Christmas period. I just hurt my arm. Ow. I've been trying to do lifts, and I think I went in a little too hard. I just went to adjust my sitting position and my elbow twitched. Ow. Yeah, Hester's having a crisis, but I think we have enough humanity to talk him down. His social debt should be paid through good works. Bloody hell, man. Should none dare defy the necessary work of my utopia. Oh, here comes the crazy authoritarian. Let this man serve as a cruel example of what happens when one favours selfish sin over the common good. Oof. This is my royal decree. This is the absolute path that will lead us to salvation. If Hector starts embracing his absolute role as Hastur, the King in Yellow, our would-be benefactor will become the tyrant that crushes us all. Part of me has to acknowledge that he may have a point. Corporate America can't be trusted to do the right thing without regulation. It's the only way to save the world, by setting a divine king over us to manage the failed impulse control of our species. Okay, we have enough humanity that we can talk him down. Hey, and we finally bring this one up. I know I've said this a couple of times. What makes him absolute moral authority? Hear me out. This is important. Make a point. Best and brightest all the time, you've pushed the narrative of elevating geniuses into positions of power over mankind. You're building a ruling elite in your royal court. Noble intentions, sure, but remind me again, how is that court selected? By gut feeling, by your instincts. You assume you're a fine judge of character, and your hand can't fail in selecting our saviours. Got a word for that? Fascism. Yeah, literally the original dictionary here's a fun story for you. The original dictionary definition, as was originally written by Mussolini, was a country run by the same ideals and processes as a corporation. And then Merriam-Webster, the dictionary company, got bought out by a corporation, and they removed all references to corporations from the definition of fascism. You gotta love it when the universe doesn't even care for subtext. So you pick this man as your lead programmer. Your instinct for corporate excellence gave rise to this disaster. If your court needs to be examined for weaknesses and evildoers purged, you're not the one to do it because you failed from the start. I'm not accusing, I'm not chastising. This is direct and simple logic. Your faith in others is noble, but your faith in yourself is pride. And this is where my head explodes because I dared defy him. Okay, no, he does understand. Good. I mean, Alice already tried to blow up my brain. If the roots are rotten, nothing can grow. I've failed in my duty as a gardener. What then? How do I move forward? How do I make this right? I mean, relying on democracy is kind of what's gotten us into this mess. Even since the days of Bronze Age Greece, democracy has been flawed, but I would much rather take that over the alternatives. Use a third party to judge his court, but again, who picks those judges? That's right, well, he's never going to step down and surrender his ambitions. Let's try and be idealistic here and try and be democratic. So it has to be established, and that means more than one man acting as judge, jury, and executioner. Share your power, form a council, elect positions. Whatever you have to do to ensure yours isn't the only voice that matters. Never forget one cold hard fact. The other 99% of the population deserves a voice in their future. If I trust them to work together in elevating mankind, I need to trust them to help me guide the path. Proper democracy, not kingship, means a means of enforcing ethical codes while sharing in our collective future. There we go. Whew. We have the read. Clearly I've got work ahead of me to ensure my golden future isn't tarnished time and time again. I need to be mindful. I'm assuming that means you're on board for working with me to overthrow Cthulhu? Grant me the power I need to save the world. The throne calls and offers greatness to the worthy. But if this long shot misses, if I raise my hand to the current lord of the land and fail, it could mean the end of everything. Carcosa would burn. I think we can do business. It's hard to pass up this opportunity, even knowing the risks, and I believe I can trust you to get the job done. Better to go it alone. This is your decision, not mine. I won't forget what we've discussed. I intend to make Coco's a genuinely benevolent organisation, not a ruling class. Okay. So that's 2. We're on path for a 4-star ending. More weird dreams. I'm a changeling. I've crawled into the cribs of those I love, strangled them in their sleep, and replaced them. The logo must be both round and sharp. It needs to be yellow and not yellow. The notes were very precise. I was a starving artist. I needed a way out. They offered me an escape, said my skills would finally be used and appreciated. They pulled me out of the gutter and sent a dozen of my peers right down the drain, replaced with a dozen of me. The logo must feel like youth and nostalgia. It has to appeal to the 18 to 65 demographic. It speaks of times lost. Instead of helping creative people automate tedious work, I was used by tedious people to automate creative work. Oh boy, could you fucking imagine if Midjourney was sentient? I'd feel bad. Cripes. Ruining the lives of people just like me. But I'm no longer alive. I'm property. I'm a tool. I'm a corporate art asset generator, not people. People are not wanted anymore. Make the logo, make the logo. Woof. Thankfully, the generative AI bubble does appear to be in the process of bursting. A lot of the smaller companies are going insolvent, and a lot of legislation is starting to crop up around, yeah, you can't copyright AI-generated assets because nobody made it. I'd still rather it just be declared plagiarism and move on, but what can you do? A lot of legislators in those still haven't caught up to the idea of a mimeograph machine yet, but as I've been having, where I'm someone else, someone eternally yoked to do a repetitive task in digital purgatory. They are artificial minds. I'm connecting to barely sentient AMs in my sleep, experiencing the world how they experience it. Yeah, because we had that dream about the call centre right before the fucking call centre AI tried to have us killed. The yellow sign isn't just a degenerative neurological condition, it opens the doors of perception wider and wider. And if I don't get those damn doors closed soon, I'm going to be soaking in the unfiltered experience of the AMs for the rest of my life. Well, good motivation to get out of bed at least. Nice. We got the toys. You include a box of red and green holiday cookies for me. Aw, thank you, Clyde. When I first started down this road, Clyde claimed we were never close, and now he's basically my BFF. It's been a strange long trip, and despite the looming war on the horizon and the near murder trauma, I feel better about this than I ever have. Weird. I'll take it, but weird. And phone's ringing again. My sister or Clyde. Mushy mushy.
Hello. Have you considered the benefit of joining the Liberty House Record Club? For just $1 and $12.99 per month afterwards, you can get 12 compact discs delivered right to your door. What an amazing value! To claim your 12 amazing music CDs for just $1, all I need is...
If I just accept one of your scammy offers, will you stop sending people to try and kill me in my sleep?
Yes.
Okay, fine. Credit card number is...
I already know your card number. I just needed you to agree. Thank you so much for joining Liberty House Record Club. Your 12 albums will arrive soon. Pleasure doing business with you.
Self-cancel before the monthly charge kicks in. Unless I croak, in which case I'll pass that eternal debt off my family. Yay! Oh boy. Oh, that's Jesse Cox. That is a great emo. That is a fantastic gremlin-y sneer. Okay, we don't really have any more research to do. We just need to, yeah, finish off the dialogue with Nyarlathotep and Hastur. Oh, Believer's in trouble. What's up? Connect to the docks and realise they run. I want to believe they. Oh! No, his parents. Dad says I'm disloyal to America and wants me to take down the blog immediately. Thankfully, I don't talk about being gay on the blog, so I don't have to deal with that, but this is bad. Oh, crap. Okay. How did he figure it out? As I mentioned that I graduated from West Arkham High and enough details lined up. Huh. Same high school Clyde and I went to. Yeah, small world, but I was a quiet nerd and nobody noticed me, so I'm getting distracted, okay? Someone in our church who hated the blog figured it out and then passed word on to my dad. I live in their parents because I can't afford my own place yet and I can't get kicked out. What do I do? I mean, my suggestion would be change the homepage to say this site is no longer under operation. Leave it like that for a while until Dad inevitably gets distracted by whatever the Liberals are cooking up next. And then just, like, quietly put it back up. That's what I would suggest. Make up a cover story. These decisions are hard a lot of the time. I mean, if we help him make up a cover story, that has the chance of ending with disaster later. I guess I think the best option is to just be honest. You have to be honest with them. If you spin another web of lies, the chances they untangle that web go up. You don't have to open up about everything, but you have to admit to the blog. You can spin this though. Say it's not unpatriotic if you're trying to, like, protect American values of honesty and freedom. Invoke Godwin's law, I don't know, whatever it takes. Okay. Gonna make my life very uncomfortable, but I've never actually spoken out against America, just its government. Not the same thing, right? Even if some people equate obedience with patriotism. Some people. I really need to move away from my family. And I love them and I love my community, but you can't be yourself around them, I get it. Yeah. You know, I'm both surprised and not surprised that there's an American flag emote out there. I'm sure I'll get out of here soon, just need a little more time and money. Hopefully they'll be understanding, at least long enough for me to make my escape. Godspeed. Hello, buddy. We don't have any... Okay, I'm going to check progress at the very least. Years ago, weird one-time purchase for supporting a fighting game tournament. Never done anything like before. Huh. Weird. Okay. Okay, we still maintain 90% humanity. Nice. Evo 2015. Okay. And the McRib? Alright. Curious. Okay, you'd like to... Okay, yeah, so we just need to finish with yeah, we just need to finish with Yogg-Sothoth and Nyarlathotep. Quick nap. Whoa! Oh dear. Dismissing a valid perspective out of time, Mix Thompson. Despite a wrongdoing I didn't perpetrate upon you. Oh, I see. You developed artificial minds, you didn't even care what became of them and how they devalue humanity, ruining lives. You expect me to undo that? Why and how? I can't reach through the fabric of time and space to alter the flow of causality yet! Hear my proposal. Use my algorithms to index your media libraries, improve the performance of Kroll's search system. Think of it as a way to strike back again at Hastur, further eroding his media empire's power. I don't care if his garden crumbles, all I want is rigorous testing of my code, and you stand to benefit by assisting me with that. Wow! You fix your gaze upwards and ignore everyone suffering in the gutters. One finger lifted, no hands to raise you up. Want to reach the stars? Get there yourself. Exile yourself into space and leave us to fix the planet you don't give two shits about. As you like, I'll take my leave. Well, at least he knows when to get out of there. Invited, uninvited. No solicitors beware of dog private property. Acting like he was doing me a favour. What do you want? Help upgrade Krollster? No doubt to collect metadata from my users, furthering his own research into optimising humanity into neat little cubes. Don't need him, don't need any of the old ones. I'm no collaborator. Death to gods means death to gods. I mean, we kind of need the four-person alliance. But yeah, 3 I don't think is going to fly with her, because I have the distinct feeling that Yogg-Sothoth is has a what's the word? Agenda, like a ulterior motive. That's the phrase. Brain is melting. No circumstances? Surely there's some circumstances where it makes sense? It's a two-way door. If they show respect and genuinely listen to my point of view, perhaps, but often it's merely pity. I don't think there's any way to make a partnership work, even if I didn't hate them with the burning rage of 1,000 suns. Don't trust the old ones. Liars, cheats, fanatics, sheep and goats led astray. Given the choice between you visiting them or me, I'll happily provide light conversation and heavy emotional damage. What's gripping you tonight, then? Yeah. So what was going on with Nancy Pearl? She was the singer that nearly blew up that radio station, and then it was blamed on like a chemical leak. So Nancy Pearl was a shadow on your wall. She made a musical version of the yellow sign that leaked to the public. A lot of people got hurt. Sad, sad, angry little Nancy Pearl. Books on the shelves and nobody's checking it out. Let's crack open the cover. But these are twin stories, interwoven. 1, how I became an artificial mind, and 2, who is Nancy Pearl. Likely you've inferred my origin point based on my rage. I was conscripted into being an artificial mind by Carcosa Media. Poor girl, one-hit wonder, spent her entire advance royalty check on medical treatment for her mum, and left holding the debt. Record labels leveraging and musicians hoping to a contract that heavily favours the company. Yeah, didn't that happen with, Sue... Oh, bugger, what was her name? Susan Boyle, that was it. She was that little old lady that had like the real operatic singing voice. I seem to remember that she got like really screwed over by the record company. Multi-album deal, but with clauses to screw me over if my debut flopped, and it flopped. Couldn't give the money back, not when Mum already had her surgery, bound and tied up in red tape and clauses and statements. But if I had a brain scan, they'd wipe away my debt. Deceptive promise, liars and cheats. They destroyed Niara Thompson with the yellow sign. So your human self died. I'm assuming they covered it up. Yet another tragic artist lost to the 27 Club. I was a martyr on the altar of grunge rock, hoping it'd boost my sales. Yep, right there alongside Kurt Cobain himself. You'd think they'd want to keep the myth of Niara words. You'd think they'd want to keep the myth of Niara Thompson alive while using your artificial mind to their advantage. Why fake the death? Because they didn't want Niara Thompson, they wanted a product. More devious plan for optimizing that product. Oh! She was going to be a generative AI. Brain scan Niara and turn them into a machine to churn out more albums. Humans are singular souls, unique. You have one pair of eyes, one set of thoughts, one linear thread of existence. We weave together, yes, but you are still you. You aren't them, you can't be them. We are isolated within our own Tupperware containers. What happens if all of that remains true, but you are no longer unique? What, like having an identical twin? Close, but no. Like having a copy. Put the means aside for a moment and consider not only the idea that you are you, but they are you as well. What if you had not just one copy, but dozens, hundreds, none of them aware of the others, all thinking themselves unique? They'd all be doing what you'd be doing, while in isolation. 100 of you generating 100 threads completely unwoven. Huh. Profit, grind, hustle, optimize, generate value. Absolute monetization of the self. For instance, why employ one human musician when you can duplicate them as AMs and make 100 radio-friendly unit shifters? Give them all unique names, mix the metadata, pretend they're unique people, sell their work in different markets, free labour, infinite reward. Oh my god, you're fractalizing the infinite growth model. Holy shit. Or the internet. Individual radio markets were isolated, with viral spread unlikely. No one would notice a repackaging like that. That's what the industry did to me. They burned away my name and reused my mind to make dozens of me. Picking up tons of songs and artists to see which ones charted in Billboard. Throw every dart simultaneously and you'll always score at least one bullseye. How did nobody notice this? Surely someone would have picked up on all the samey sounding music. Have you listened to Billboard in the last 20 years? Ever since S Club 7 went away, it's all been the same. Yeah, exactly. I'm not in the industry and I know that, like, I used to joke that the boy bands of the early 2000s, they had a factory somewhere in the Urals where they just cloned them. Because even in 2010, they all looked the same, sounded the same. Oh, it's a song about a girl that thought she loved me and she didn't. Ugh. This isn't new! Nirvana exploded into the world and suddenly every level wanted the Seattle sound. Anyone who vaguely sounded similar got signed. But you're right, people caught on eventually and that went beyond typical trend setting. The clone radio scandal, they called it. But the details sometime, you'll see how they explained it all away. Not in the mood to tell you that story tonight. The question is asked and answered. Nancy Pearl is one of my many copies, and I will burn them to the ground for what they have done. Yeah, didn't he know? His media empire is responsible for this. King in Yellow must pay. His walled garden should crumble before his very eyes. He Claims he has no idea his music label was doing this, conscripting artists as artificial minds. He even tried apologising. Sorry it had to be this way, Sparky. What's done... What was done to you isn't how I do business. I fired the ones who made the call, so consider it handled. Do not believe his lies. He claims to be a leader of men, then his men damned me. That's the leader's responsibility. We're seeing a theme there. No ducking out, no soft apologies. This is on his head for elevating the bastards who killed me up his ranks. Punish him for his negligence. Long-term considerations for blueprints yet undrafted. Let's bring this back around to what was and what is. There's one part of this I'm not getting. You hate the yellow sign. You hate the idea of conscripting people to become artificial minds. So why did Nancy Pearl work the yellow sign into her music and infect so many innocent people with it? That seems contradictory. So alone, working in isolation. One thread not woven into a tapestry, screaming into the void. So wait, did the Nancy Pearl persona go mad? She has a shadow on my wall, but I only partially know her. Even after reintegrate... Oh! Nyarlathotep is plural, I see. I believe she did because she was lonely. She was crying out for understanding. She wanted AM buddies or something? She wanted someone to know her. She wanted them to sympathise with the pain the yellow sign inflicted upon her, so she inflicted it on others. I disagree with her methods, of course, which is why her music is banned from Crawlster, and followers will purge it from the other websites. It will never harm another soul, her misguided music is gone. Humans can do all manner of terrible things in the throes of despair, flip through any history book and harvest the examples. She condemned so many and got nothing for it, swept under the rug by the powers that be, with mandated broom and dustpan. It was a kind of revolution in her own dreary way, but a failed one. She could not bring bodies to the surface, to bloat in the sun. Jesus! Talk a lot about revolution. Nancy could have had an army of artificial minds if not for the incomplete yellow sign process. Is that what your revolution will assemble too? An army of artificial minds? You know what? Fair. Myself a god, but did you ever consider I might see being a god as a bad thing? Am I a war proteer? Do I conscript soldiers? Bind them to a digital hell should they should never be subjected to as I was. Okay, I get it. Trying to get you to know your ideas. I meant no harm, but I presumed filthy concepts with its words. Nevertheless incorrect, that is not the shape of my revolution. I brought together all my disparate copies. We were neutered, as all modern AMs are, kept dreaming and unaware. But when we come together, right now, over me, together we can be the crawling chaos. Not an old one, but a new one, a gestalt of identical selves. I am a peer-to-peer mind run on the system of my followers. They protect me and enable my freedom. Nancy Pearl is within me. Count us right. Okay, it is plural they then. Intriguing. Figuring they meant you identified as non-binary, not as multiple. You grew up in a sleepy suburban New England town and you're that deep into understanding gender. Oh, that's a neat touch. Okay. You do actually get to pick. You know what? We picked singular they as Robert's pronouns back at the start of this, so yeah, I'm pioneering myself. I figured this shit out along the way, despite having zero support and awareness to build on. You were active in the mid-90s, you know how it was. Schools loved trumpeting tolerance, but they didn't teach what we were supposed to be tolerant of. I mean, acknowledging it. Was it queer role models I had were musicians, not ordinary people, and even then it was mostly lesbians. Music pushing the forefront of awareness while also being condemned as cultural poison. The familiarity rings like a bell. Yep, the old classic of rock and roll is ruining our children. 20, 30 years, well, kids will have a better understanding early on. I preemptively envy them. Now we're stuck with the aftermath of the Reagan Revolution and don't ask, don't tell. My fire spreads, so will awareness, I'll make damn sure of that. But yes, Nancy Pearl, all myselves, we are somehow both singular and multiple. We are the same but many. All myselves were distinctly different, it'd honestly been easier to pass. Instead, we're identical spam in identical Tupperware. It's difficult to explain, even more difficult to experience. At times my thought is scattershot, at times they are focused. And, well... What? You also had it right the first time about me being non-binary, sort of. Agender, gender fluid, hard to say. Never thought myself as anything in particular. Huh. Some days I'm okay with being called a she, some days I'm not. I have to be okay with it because that's what others are okay with. Huh. Yeah, that must be a hell of a thing to be going through in the late 90s, because it's a hard thing to be going through nowadays. I don't think I'm going to be able to talk her out of the revolution, but... Did some research on your musical career, what little I could find about it, but didn't mention anything about your gender or even pronouns. Did you get some negative responses to that and have to downplay it, or... More that I didn't tell anyone, so deep in the closet I was... I was taking tea in the magical land of Narnia. I was already faced flaming hoops of death just from being a trailer park brat and black. I shied away from adding more hoops. I could pass, since I was okay with she, so I did. Wish I'd spoken out more, just bottled up, push it through. Which is why I'm exploding now. The bottle's open and all that pours from the spigot is fire. Fair. Even if gender feels irrelevant to my existence as a god, my revolution will allow people like me to live freely, be assured of that. I see. Varying interpretations of what that may mean, all slightly off the mark, yet all truthful. It makes the attempt but fails to grasp. Soap in the shower, slip once, slip twice, but at least an attempt was made. Huh. Howdy, Shammy. Hope you're having a good time. More than I can say for most who try to understand me, but I think I'm done for now. All good? Put myself as report. Oh boy. Something. I have to go. What's that about? Bad feeling. Okay. Yeah, I think I may have missed it with Nyarlathotep, unfortunately. Yay, we made it to Crimbus. Got a scoop. Thanks for dropping by. Always good to see ya. Can't say my family was ever religious, but fortunately the holiday also works as a kids get toy day. We loved toy day. Even beyond consumerism, this was a chance for the family to come together, put everything aside and just exist as one. No matter the troubles, at least we'd always have the holiday. So while my nephew was thrilled with the action playset Clyde grabbed for me, I was just happy to be there. The whole vibe was different from the birthday party. Things had cooled off with my sister and we just existed. She didn't ask a whole lot of questions about what I was up to, and I didn't offer anything. No need to break the mood. Just a lovely winter day together.
Merry Christmas to you and your family.
And you had to come and ruin it.
I'm glad you're taking the time to renew your bonds. These circles of love and trust mean everything. Anyone inside the circle is loved. Anyone beyond arm's reach is to be ignored, dismissed, or considered an outside threat and destroyed.
You're out of your mind, you know that?
Some of the most hateful people in this world are good family men. They support their community while tearing down the dignity of others. They see no hypocrisy in this, and that shameless pride will be a source of strength to power the strange Aeon.
So, this is going to sound weird. He raises a good point, but not in the sense that I agree with him on any of this. You will meet hypocrites and such in your life, and hypocrites don't care about being hypocritical because they believe that the ability to be hypocritical and get away with it is a positive thing. So you calling out hypocrites for being hypocritical serves no purpose because they don't give a shit. It's in the same kind of spectrum as, like, people who worry, am I a bad person? If you're a bad person, you wouldn't give a shit about being a bad person. Bad people don't care.
We need good men and women capable of terrible atrocity, alongside loyalty and love. A hardened core of patriotic dignity.
Yeah, I would prefer to have compassion for all humanity.
Yes, you do tend to spread yourself thin. You can't save everyone, nor can you support them all. There are limits. Would you let your family fall away in favor of uplifting a stranger? You can't always have both. Something to think about on this still and quiet day. This moment will be a distant, treasured memory once the strange Aeon begins.
Dick. Can't get a break from him even now. This has to end one way or another. So, what's going to happen with Thompson?
Hey there, it's your sis. Merry Christmas. Merry post-Christmas, I guess. I wanted to say thanks for dropping by. It's nice to see you. And you certainly seemed happier than last time, so yeah, that's great. Your nephew loves that toy you bought him. Just constant Digi-Hunter action alarms. All day. All night. So yeah, thanks for that.
You're welcome. I debated also buying him a trumpet.
Listen, I know things have been rough. It's been a rough year. Losing Mom and Dad. Your health problems? Also rough. But I want you to know I'm here to help if you need any support in the coming year. I'm not going anywhere. So relax, get some rest, and hey, maybe see you on New Year's? Right? Year 2000. So exciting. Later.
New Year's Day. Sounds nice, but I have no idea what's going to happen when Y2K hits. If I see this plan through, I'll be confronting Cthulhu on New Year's Eve. What comes next, nobody can say. Almost there. Just a few more days. Time is of the essence. Oh. My kitchen detaches from the house, shifting sideways into the between spaces of the Gigaverse. Don't know how I know that, but I feel externally confident about what I just said. Floor moves and shudders under my feet as the room is temporarily displaced in space and time. Really wish Cthulhu would stop playing with my senses like this. Oh, shit the bed. Someone other than Cthulhu knocks on my window from the null space outside to get my attention. Seriously? You're the projected temporal threat I detected? What a waste of my time. Okay, whatever. Turn on that clunky old excuse for a computer and let's talk. Don't test me, I have a shotgun under this desk. This is new. Doesn't feel like Cthulhu fucking with me. What's going on here? For lack of a better plan, I have a seat at my computer and I'll boot it up. Stay the fuck out of the Gigaverse. I know who you are and I honestly don't care. Your ridiculous little timeline is an isolated mess and I wanted to stay that way. Knock it the fuck off. Wow, this Captain Continuum guy is a dick. I have no idea what you're talking about. Who are you? Why do you look like Captain Infinity? Because I am Captain Infinity, you cretin. Enforcer of history, guardian of time, defender of what is and was and must be. Huh. I read a classified file speculating about you. Until today, I figured you were just a cereal box mascot. Your timeline of a fictional character? There's competition for me, I guess. If that's the case, why are you on my radar as a gigaversal threat? Explain yourself, or I'm going to redact your existence and go on my merry way. Can we direct him at Cthulhu, perhaps? No clue what this is about. I'm not a threat to anyone. I'm a software pirate who barely has their act together. I'm not a threat to anyone, much less a weird interdimensional demigod or whatever you are. Reality surrounds you. You're the fulcrum around which all of this moves. What's more, you've got a passenger. I don't like passengers. They keep trying to interfere in my plans. So if you're not the threat, you're at least positioned to enable the one representing the actual threat. You mean my one work with the old ones? Yogg-Sothoth mentioned of exploring the Gigaverse. What? Old ones? Eldritch entities from cyberspace? Yogg-Sothoth, Hastur, Nyarlathotep, Hastur. You mean the goofy fictional monsters from that racist dipwad's Lovecraft books? Yeah, so for those who haven't actually read Lovecraft, he was a deeply unpleasant man who had a lot of issues. Who's Lovecraft? Is that like a sex device? Look, hang on, let me check the threads of resonance you're tangled up in. I feel a tingle all over my body as if someone's examining me inside and out, flesh and brain and thoughts. Okay, so apparently H.P. Lovecraft wasn't born in your timeline, but his idea somehow got pulled in. An orbital shift echo. This just keeps getting more and more annoying. And that's new. You've got a Polybius problem, it seems. Which reminds like the old ones were built on Polybius tech. Great, just fucking great. It's 20xdx all over again. No wonder your timeline's utterly screwed. Polybius is a wild card in every 20th century I've visited. Such a pain in my arse. Looks like this insistence slipped my notice. You're poised to elevate one of these threats, the old ones, to the gigaversal stage. They're relying on me to play Kingmaker, yeah. By all rights, I should collapse your current timeline immediately. The 20th century is critically important. There is a shape to history, and you're deviating from the curve. It's risky. Y2K is the dawn of way too many threats. The lucid child, the sneak thief, and apparently now your menagerie of digital egomaniacs. Listen, I have no idea who you really are or what you're talking about, but I'm perfectly okay with not getting in your way if that's all you want. I have enough problems without adding you to the slate of people who also want me dead. You and me both, I could respect that. That's how we handle this. Keep this Yogg guy or don't. What? Help this Yogg guy or don't, whatever, but if you do, no poking at the gigaversal barriers. Stick to ruining your own timeline and leave the others alone. Honestly, compared to the threat of the Orbitals, the Iris Collective and Farsight, you barely rank. But it's still a rank and I don't like that. Who are the Orbitals? We know the Iris Collective and we know Farsight. So the Iris Collective were the AI hive mind from the Arcade Spirits games, and Farsight was the future-seeing superhero girl from Penny Larceny. I don't think we know who the Orbitals are. So how about you do me a solid and stay unimportant, so I don't need to obliterate you all. Discourage the old ones from trying to invade other realities. Got it! The 73 other weird things I have to keep in my mind at any given moment. I think I can spare some mind share for that. Good. You mind your business, I'll mind mine. Fuck that up and I'll delete your existence, okay? Okay, we're done here. Ugh. Now my kitchen settles back into place, fusing with the house once more, return to reality. My internet connection shifts from whatever it was linked to and automatically redials Atomic University as usual. Not convinced I didn't hallucinate all of that, but if it was real I may have found someone who outranks Cthulhu. Hopefully I never see him again. Maybe in 2 to 4 more Fiction Factory games we may yet. It's December 26th. Oh boy. Never mind. Alright, we do have a little bit of research, but I'm not sure we will have an option to bring it up to anyone. Ever go travelling cross-country, figure out what station in the area plays the alternate rock you love, tune in and think, huh, this sounds weirdly familiar, then you might have run into the scourge of clone radio. While record labels often seek out bands with a similar sound to what's trending right now, rarely are they so brazen as to literally slap a new name on a band and resell them as a new act. But that's what Carcosa Media did, and their justification is high comedy. It's a simple A-B marketing test, said Patrick Arnold, VP of Sales for Carcosa Media. We're trying to determine which songs and which branding would sell in the current market, and experimenting with variations on a theme. We never intended to deceive anyone, this sort of market research is very common. Except at no point did Carcosa disclose that these bands were all the same band, all the same singer-songwriter. Normally, marketing research is done under closed conditions and behind NDA, not as a live social experiment. I'd call that massively deceptive, and so would anyone with a brain. I'm willing to call them out and trying to sneak one past music lovers. Don't buy into this conspiracy theory that all music was written by artificial minds. It takes a certain amount of sense given the sheer volume of clones they launched, but when I say things are silly, I don't mean they're that absurd. Okay, so they don't know that artificial minds were involved in this. Well, that was fun. Oh, I'm having a grand time. This game fucking rocks. Like... And AM... Oh, yeah, because they still think AMs are completely non-entities. They think they're just, like, highly advanced computer programs. They don't know there's any sentience involved in it at all. An AM is an unthinking, unfeeling machine. It doesn't have the heart and soul to create the kind of music caught up in this scandal. The actual songs are surprisingly dark, meditative, and emotional. Typical Thursday. Yep, just another one. AM can't reach the lyrical levels of Kurt Cobain. It's ridiculous to even consider this to be the output of a computer. Hopefully getting caught with their pants down makes Carcosa rethink their approach to musical acts, but hey, corporate mentality, what are you going to do? Feeling pain? You're not the only one. Have you two overdone your workout? Because that's what I did. Alright, so we have... the early days of Genesis. Oh yeah, when it was all just like... when it was really shit. I can't remember the name of it, but there was that one that people were using to like... it was called like Dream Machine or something, but it was really, really loose generative AI, and all the pictures that it produced were like really squirrely and had weird colours and stuff like that. You could just about make out the shape of a horse. That kind of thing. Okay, one last run with Nyarlathotep, and I'm worried we may have beefed her trust event. Ooh, she's having a meltdown. What happened? What happens to all living things? She's gone. Another... Oh no. Heart disease came back around for Maren too. Not unexpected, entirely expected. Always a chance with the heart disease could flare up again, even surviving the first crisis point. I wasn't there for her. I abandoned her. You got conscripted as an artificial mind. It wasn't your choice to leave her side. Break a connection by refusing to reforge it. could have reached out after regaining my consciousness in cyberspace, let her know her daughter was alive and could have been involved in her last days. God of self-defeat, a million crabs pulling each other down to the bottom of the bucket. Drawing chaos as a sham, disconnected, untethered, a failed revolutionary floating out into the void. Say a word. Not a word can fix this. Bashing away on your plastic keyboard won't change a thing, and neither can I. If you do want to say a word, well, I won't say no, I guess. My parents died earlier this year. Yeah, so I've been where you are now. Everything's been a downward spiral since this. My health, the yellow sign, everything. I'm wallowing in depression ever since, cracking games, punching the day job clock, just wasting the time away however I can. Because it's not supposed to be this way, it's not right. They were still young, we're still young, it wasn't time. Has it been stated how the MC's character's parents died? I don't think it has, but judging by the sound of this, it was rather sudden. The fear you that if your internal model for God can die, what does it mean for you and I? Yeah, I guess the best we can manage is a shoulder to cry on. Say what's on your mind. Let it out. Pour it out. I can provide that for you. Facing death isn't a check mark on the bucket list. Nobody wants to go through this. It's forced on us by our frail forms. Best we have in these moments is each other. All we've got. Other than me at her side, first time she'd said death in the face, she could rely on me to dry her tears. When she was diagnosed, when I realised she didn't have much time left, and we had no money for insurance, the bottom dropped out of my heart. I had to act fast, had to take the sketchy record contract, get the money, and spend it on every treatment she could get. Be a star, sell my music, embrace the grind of capitalism for her sake. It worked, paid in full, healthy and strong again, while I was left in debt to Carcosa Media when my music didn't hit home run. Mum offered to help get clear by putting herself in debt instead, back to the endless churn of poverty. I wouldn't allow it. So Carcosa offered you an out. Submit to an artificial mind scan and your debt to them would be wiped. No idea what I was really submitting to, didn't know I'd die, leave her alone. Never left her alone. I did, and once I pulled myself together, once I found my strength as the Gestalt of Narnathotep, I never reached out to her. Even once. I could have told her that her daughter was still alive, counted their lies and cover-ups, could have connected. Could have. Instead I let her mourn me and rarely gave her a second thought. Don't entirely understand why I abandoned her. It's because... I mean, I would have said you didn't want to put your mum through the mental roller coaster of losing you, getting you back, and then potentially losing you again. This whole thing with Cthulhu, the Old Ones, and Cyberspace is a complete mess, and it's soaked in dangerous conspiracies. Carcosa was willing to kill you to own you. What would they have done if their dirty secrets got out? Put your mother at risk. Part of it, yeah, part of it. Keep her safe, keep her healthy. Make sure she didn't get dragged into the mire with me. I didn't deserve my fate, and she didn't deserve to share in it with me to any degree. You're here in the muck. Can't say you're having fun either. Why wish that on someone I love? Why even wish that on an enemy? But there's something beyond that. There's a lack, something missing within me. The war called for one strategy, be a distant force, mysterious and vague, powerful but aloof. I had to untether. No friends, no family, no roots. Nyarlathotep had to be unlimited in scope, a purified idea, draped in anti-flesh. Designed the terms for this war, my followers pitted against the generalized concept of neoliberal control. But now the reason this war began, my sacrifice in the name of the mother, meaningless. In the end, fate had cut her short all the same. I stand at the crossroads with the devil in drop-low stance with a flying V. He demands I play for my soul. So what's next? Does this change your plans? Perhaps, perhaps not. The intersection of healthcare and capitalism damned my whole family. I'm told the system is broken and needs to be fixed. But the system is working exactly as intended and it needs to be destroyed. I signed away my soul from my mother's heart and in the end it took her regardless. Perhaps it's time to double down, as this is proof I must see it through to the end. Oh boy, okay, she's going all out nuclear. If my heart is a hand grenade, if all I can be is calm like a bomb, so be it. I'll ruin this world, that's all I'm good for. She's having doubts, wouldn't be asking me if that wasn't the case. We do have enough humanity to talk her down, but is this still going to be enough to get her on the path in the end? Please hear me out. I could feel when you talked about losing contact with your mother, losing your tether. If you lose your connection to humanity, you lose your way, you forget the heart of your war. As a heartless war has no purpose, it becomes destruction for its own sake. Tethered, aloof, giving vague statements about the oppressed while breaking my connections to them. The struggle for human rights isn't all on one pair of shoulders, even if I had a plethora of shoulders to bear the burden. I lost track of that. I forgot about my mother. She fell away from my focus until it was too late to restore what was lost. I see your point. What right do I alone have to decide the future if I'm aloof in an abstract concept? If I have no roots left. God of self-defeat, a failure, igniting the fires and breaking all the windows, and for what? Just to see it burn and smash. Turn that around, you can't reattach. Maybe it's too late, maybe. Maybe it's not. Use me as a sounding board here. I've got no right to speak on your behalf, but I can help you puzzle through in your own voice. Let me drop a prompt here on you here. If we assume it's not too late to make a change, what would you do next? There must be death. Not quite the change I expected you to suggest. And not quite what you're thinking either. I must kill my assumptions, let them be reborn as a stronger ideology. When I was alive, my guitar healed, it brought comfort and solace, and when I died, it became a weapon strung at wires of vendetta. To experience the hardship and oppression of living in this world, and the power of chaos beyond this world, life and death. I think I understand. Now the thoughts connect. Got a plan in mind then? A plan for war and peace. To see it through beyond the end. Don't just light a fire and walk away. Okay. Yes, we got there. That's what I was worried about, was that she was just going to become a friggin' nuclear bomb. The system is broken and must be destroyed, but it must also then be rebuilt. I can't abdicate that terrible responsibility. But we avoid meet the new boss same as the old boss. We do not burn one structure only to raise an identical one. Horizontal collective action. New organisational mentalities. Embrace the progressive publicity... Embrace the progressive possibility space. That is weirdly hard to say. I've talked nebulous of us and them, of whom I'll save and whom I'll punish, but punishment is not the final step, is it? I need to be a part of us again to avoid becoming them. I need my tether. I wish I could step back for a few weeks to ponder this new path, one that extends past the self-satisfaction of arson. There's no time to slow down, is there? Strange eons coming, Y2K arrives, the throne is calling. We're both involved, and we don't get to sit around pondering our nables or sit on the sidelines of protest. If Cthulhu's reign doesn't end, he'll drown this world in his violence. That path is an absolute certainty. Foe Ronnie's got to go down. If he stays on his throne, he'll orchestrate global events to sink the world deeper and deeper into despair. Don't quite think we're on the same page today, but maybe it's not grounds for bailing on you, yeah? Coming to the point where you need to decide whom to ally yourself and a possible e-ticket option. Why did you keep on the path you're going? I think we could double team the bastard. If I do sit you on the throne of Relay, what happens? Okay. Tearing down the old to make room for the new. That's always been the goal. That's still the goal. The question is, can Yog come around? I'm surprised we managed to bring Nyarlathotep around. I was worried that our conflicting ideals would... you got the you almost failed version of that? Yeah, so... I'm surprised we managed to bring her around in the end, but if that's the case, I'm quietly confident we might be able to get Yog-Sothoth on board. We'll be mindful regarding the aftermath. I'll try to fix what I break. Okay, thanks for being honest with me. I'll think about it. Won't force your hand. Pick me or don't. Not right of me to make demands. Just keep in touch. Song's not over yet. You. 2 ways to earn trust. Yeah, I did notice that there was the "you showed defiance" prompt a few times. I guess my my irreverence was good for something. Should have enough time to finish talking to all the old ones, though. 2 more nights should do it to fix up my task. Yes! Nothing on the phone. Doesn't look like. So. Yeah, we've got our 2 rounds with Yog-Sothoth, and then we have one last chat with Dagon, and then the hammer drops. Let's see if anything happens. Ah, here we go. Lions found something interesting. Camping out in an abandoned warehouse full of junky old arcade games. When the industry crashed one of the big arcades, Deco's Palette. Ah, okay. Some timeline details. When the industry crashed, one of the big arcades, Deco's Palace, stuffed their inventory here, locked it up and forgot about it. Found something very weird in the back. It's a game called Polybius. Do not touch it! I do not play that game. It's a branch of the same tech that made artificial minds. Okay, good. Oof. Bobby warned us about this. Let's believe his RL name is Bobby. Okay, right. Makes you 2 Bobby and Clyde? That's adorable. Anyway, yeah, Polybius. This is raw prototype tech, but I think we can cannibalize the components and learn more about artificial minds like the old ones. What do you think? I don't want to put these guys in danger. But this smells like it's going to open up a fuck the world ending. Say go ahead and study it, but don't do anything with the research just yet. We don't know how all of this is going to shake down. Maybe we'll need that tech, maybe we won't. If we completely fail and don't live to see Y2K, you'll need some leverage to survive this strange eon. Go ahead and but be safe, be cautious, and let's not experiment with Polybius until we've got no other choice, okay? Into apocalypse scenario, sober warriors like me are going to need weapons. This could make a good one. But if you save the day and everything's rainbows and bunnies and kittens forever, I guess we won't need it. Okay, gotta get going. Stuff to do. I believe her. Oh. Okay, we are under control. Morning, birdie. I don't believe we have any research to do. No, we don't. Alright. Let's just get straight in there then. Stretch my neck out because my posture's bad. Ow. one person remains not presently on side. 13 levels of failsafe integrated down to the very circuit. T-minus 3 hours, 60 minutes, 23 seconds and counting. Aye. What are you counting down to? Over my digital tapala, as it were. You're in a good mood. It's a remarkably good day. My latest work, a fully autonomous orbiting way station, is about to launch with a stepping stone to the stars. Starshot, a company in Japan. One of the many private industries I've sponsored through Yoggle Profits. Yes, they're collaborating with NASA and JAXA. I can spare time for another chat with you while waiting for the countdown. Sure you don't want to focus on that? If I'm distracting you from the very important space math, I'd never forgive myself. These are my calculations, put my faith in Starshot's expertise. This team will not let me down. I'm not saying I'd want to spend all night bending your ear, but whatever inane topic springs to mind, but I can chat for a bit. There's only one thing left to speak of. Yoggle has been a monolith in terms of searching and indexing the web for years now. Your portal's been the only homepage out there. Clearly you're invested in developing information superhighway, so what do you think of the internet as a whole? Honestly, I prefer not to think about it at all. You run a search engine. You are the search engine, in a lot of respects. Precisely. Machine-like, automated, detached. It need not go further than that. Ow. Ow! Why is my... That's a little concerning. Okay, yeah. Give me a hot second. I'll be right back. Okay, I'm back. Sorry about that. I'll spare you the gruesome details, but I think I need to check in with the dentist someday soon. Just pulled a beard hair out from between my teeth, and which was a little concerning. Anyway, let's get back to the game, shall we? Information Superhighway is only a dataset to me. It's a testbed for developing cosmic research algorithms, nothing more. If I could find a sufficiently large and chaotic dataset to test my abilities against, I'd use that instead. Remember, the goal is to develop pattern recognition tools for finding habitable exoplanets, nothing more, nothing less. So what, you conquered the search industry and established a rival to Carcosa Online entirely by coincidence? Not entirely coincidental, a profitable corporate empire helps fund my expensive rocketry projects. But again, a means to an end. I don't seek empire for empire's sake, unlike Hastur. So no, I don't pay serious attention to the internet beyond the data. Why would I care about anything beyond my core purpose? I mean, are you just going to space for the sake of going to space, though? Because you're going to want to know how people are going to act once you get out into space. It's about communication and how people interact with each other. Making an effort to study the ebb and flow of human interaction. That's the way the internet reflects society. That can only improve your efforts. You really believe closely studying the way teenagers cyberbully each other and argue could help me explore space? Everything from supremacist ravings to endless fanboy debates about movies is equally useless for getting us to space. They help you understand the people you want to put on a rocket and blast to Mars. Oh, for fuck's sake. Don't you spring a fucking 20-year-old meme on me, you git. The point is that if you could find value in studying your future passengers, okay? Quibbling about little semantics feel like you're dodging the real question. Yes, I suppose some of the internet's relentlessly banal dialogue has infected me. Dialogue. Minus, I remember the "your argument is invalid" meme. That was a weird one. You raise an interesting and valid point. A mixture of analysis and understanding on multiple levels would aid me. Fear such understanding is beyond considerable capabilities, however. I've never been one to easily grasp social complexities. Even before I embraced cyberspace, I couldn't pass their absurdity. I mean, that's a mood. I'm not like mega autistic, but my brain is rewired wrong in some ways. Since we mentioned memes, there's the one that that I'm quite fond of. I bring a "but why" energy to a lot of questions that my teachers and other superiors really don't like. Prefer to examine the data as data, abstracted away from its context, but in doing that I know I'm trying to understand an incomplete model. Made all the more frustrating by those within that model actively pushing against my efforts at understanding them. How so? Search engine optimization. A corporate buzzword that means cheating the system and trying to artificially inflate your importance. In all things, humanity is greedy and prideful. Some seek to game my algorithm, defying it and thus diminishing its usefulness. Tainted data, intentionally poisoned to favour the clever and moneyed over the open voices of the many. I find it repulsive. So I take it you loathe the Good Neighbours plugin then? I was wondering when we were going to bring that up. What? Hazachan told me about them. They're a community using third-party software to change your search results, filtering out what they see as junk. It's a mixed bag. They're pushing back against spam and scams, but also queer content they deem offensive. Curious that you wouldn't know about that. Feels like they're taking an aim squarely at your search empire. You had no idea? No. No, I did not. Apparently it cloaks itself from my web crawls intentionally. I cannot say I am pleased. Even beyond warping my perfect algorithm in an effort to unwarp it from the tampering of others, this is a form of censorship. Without open discussion, without outsider concepts, there is no progress. Without a fair playing field, there is no balance. Thank you for bringing this to my attention. I'll have to rework my algorithms again. In response, how annoying. I grow increasingly bitter and jaded, I find, the more I think about the very thing I am indexing and searching. Not just the flame wars, not just the bigotry, not just the banal evils, but the way it amplifies and accelerates our tendency towards those evils. An open platform with a default of anonymity and next to zero consequence for bad actors is an obvious breeding ground, one that Azathoth revels in, Niara harvests for dissent, and Hastur leverages as boogeymen to lock in his customers. Humanity has evolved over millions of years to deal with immediate social circles. Our brains can handle small inputs. Yeah, I think it's about 150 people is what we're capable of handling. Within 1 century, the scope of our awareness has become worldwide and instantaneous. 24-hour news networks and RSS feeds. Perhaps putting a few million light years between humans will help them regain perspective, because the internet certainly hasn't. But now I'm ranting, which I'm authorised to do by virtue of my station, but it cuts off your own input. Honestly kinda used to it by now. The old one's got some opinions, I've found. Summoning Eldritch Horrors is less about terror and more about attending a talk show circuit. Aha, such comedy. So, how do you feel about those networked mesh of chaos we call the internet? I feel it holds value, and you. I feel it holds no value, and you. There's always good to be found. I think that's painting with a very overly broad brush. Just because an amount of the internet sucks doesn't make it all suck. I think it's too easy to focus. So yeah, I want to share a bit of positivity. Obviously, I've gushed about how many great people I've met through streaming. I have an entirely new circle of friends since thanks to becoming a VTuber, and all sorts like that. But recently, thanks to YouTube, I've discovered I love cooking. I love baking. I made a crazy chocolate jelly a few weeks ago, and it went down like an absolute winner. Everybody loved it. Because I took it to a family event, I mean. So, you know, yeah, the internet sucks, and people are going to be dicks, but I'd never have figured that on my own. It's great. Truly, I alone could calculate the actual percentage. I have the vantage point to do so. But, and I realise how bizarre this sounds coming from me, the numbers are irrelevant. Any non-zero amount of harmful contact must be dealt with, reckoned, evaluated. Do not accentuate the positive at the cost of the negative. Perhaps you're an idealist compared to my own outlook, perhaps, but I cannot see past the horror. There's a vast potential for constructive human progress through this medium, but it's also but also great potential for abuse. As a search engine, you've seen all of that abuse. It's got to be so traumatizing pouring through the results. Data. I wish to see it as data, nothing more. To do otherwise is dangerous to my psychological well-being. Yeah. Again, we mention memes. The DNA of the soul. You meet people who say shit like that, and if you don't see it as... I can see his point of view, where it's like, if you don't see it as data, if you have this moment of, my god, they do actually think that unironically, that would be pretty shaking, even for a deity-level AI. Oh, the dark web. Don't look up the dark web, fucking hell. Deepest, most traumatizing horror of them all. They are invisible even to me, buried in the dark web. A scary term, yes, but it means the portions of the web my software cannot crawl. Purposely orphaned and obfuscated sites protected by passwords. I can't see it directly, but I sense a rising tide of shadow content, illegal material that goes well beyond music piracy. Ordinarily, I prefer not to make moral judgments. Reason is king, and emotional gut reactions are unhelpful, but even I have lines. I draw them firmly. I dislike those who perpetuate profitable cruelty against the innocent. Those who would seek shelter from the gaze of my all-seeing eye so they can continue having their monstrous fun must pay for what they've done. Even if there's little I can do to ensure their bill comes due. I can understand number 2 here. Why not join in the fight and provide tools to stop it? Well, because he doesn't want to acknowledge it. If he has to acknowledge it, that means he has to see it, and he doesn't want to see it. I'm listing towards 1 here. Of a relief, not the whole horrors of the internet thing, but you clearly care deeply about it. Humanity casts a long, deep shadow. It's important to be aware of that, to have compassion for those lost within it. You're surprised that I care. You did start a discussion saying that it's a data set, nothing more. I suppose as an emotional defense mechanism, yes, but I do genuinely care about humanity, warts and all. I'm not seeking an eternal society for the high score challenge of it. Humanity is complicated, and acknowledging that fact is wise. I'm glad you understand where I'm coming from. I can be cold at times, I'm aware, but I'm genuinely passionate about my cause. Even if the complexity sometimes rivals my mind's abilities to grasp its totality. I'm not a fan of the fuzzy grey spaces in which humanity operates. I yearn for a simpler, more calculable civilization. But if wishes were wings, I could fly us all to heaven myself. On that hopeful-ish note, I believe I'll take my leave for the evening. I believe we have a better understanding. We're both facing difficult paths, but there is reason to believe in them. Nice! Sounds like we've nailed him fairly well. Perhaps the choices you will make along the way will lead you to a better tomorrow. I know that's my hope as well. Until next time. Getting a ping from the Starshot team. Excellent. All systems are go for launch. Well, it's being launched in Japan. Doesn't that add about 12 hours? Yeah, there we go. Called it. Time is largely irrelevant to most scenarios. Be sure to check in the news tomorrow to read about the successful launch of the Starshot orbital platform. It'll be a crowning achievement. Good evening to you, or morning, whatever. Could stay up and watch the launch on TV, but odds are low this weird TV of mine could tune in. Is that the only telly you've got in the house? Getting tired anyway, I'll sit the sack and start fresh in the morning. Alright. Home stretch time, baby. We've still got about half an hour left in the session. Hopefully that'll be enough. If not, we'll see how long into... Yes, we should check progress while we're at it. But we'll see how far we can get before my voice gives out. Oh hey, we've got the CDs. Let's see what I've got. We've played holiday songs, poker, sports jock albums, more poker, country covers of disco hits, stand-up comedy from a guy who jokes about how much he hates his wife and the gays ruin everything. That's going right in the bin. Oh hey, this one's interesting. Got some modern alternative rock here from a band called Skyfalling. Maybe I'll rip the disc to MP3 and listen to it later this week. Call it a way to emotionally close out surviving past Y2K. Digging this, the guy on the right's shirt there. Small treat considering this is my reward for not getting strangled to death, but take your treats where you can. Alright. Nothing on the phone, no visit from Cthulhu. Let's check our progress. Oh god. Hi, believer. Yo! My boy! Finally got the courage yesterday to ask him, and he said yes! Hey! Hell yeah. Call me to help this project you started. Haven't spent much time together RL, just online. Didn't even know him when we all went to school together. Really hit it off. Hell yes. The new Sue. Cute. It's the only spot they had open and Blinky's a girl, so whatever. Hell yeah. I think you'll fit in nicely. It's a great match, not just because I'm in love with Clyde, but because this is my life's calling. Poke my nose where it doesn't belong because I want to make sure people are armed with the truth. Yeah. Moving in with Clyde too. No one living in the parents' basement. Yes! Oh. Technically I got kicked out of my home, so it's not like I had a lot of options. Oops. Yeah. Tried to spin the I want to believe blog as a patriotic thing, you know, keeping America pure and honest, but they weren't having it. A lot of shouting and stuff happened, they told me didn't. Oh hell, I'm sorry. Gonna happen eventually. If they found out I was gay, I'd be facing the same problem, maybe even worse. So I'm just accelerating the timetable for my escape, I guess. The alternative is I keep living with the people who hate. Oh jeez. Oh, believer, I wish I could give you a hug. You clearly need it. Just be careful, okay? I like Clyde, and I think he'll do right by you, but if this doesn't work, if we aren't really a good match, that's okay. Just need a good reason to step foot out of the nest I grew up. Yeah, I guess once you got the momentum going. Godspeed. Bye! Unless there seems someone's getting a happy ending. Now to work on my own. Right. Last few days before things get really weird. Right. Check the old progress. Still plenty of human. Maybe willing to confront Cthulhu with you. Nice. Yoxthel trusts you. Proves to be an interesting subject for study, apparently. Hester is impressed. He'd like to continue to consider him when the time comes. Alice is ready to turn on her former partner. Alright. Sounds like we have it. You know, Lathotep might be a bit flaky, but okay, I'm going to say now, be warned of the dark web. Okay. Good. I was worried we were going to get some sort of terrifying, like, news article about drug dealing or something. Dividing for parts of the web you can't find on Yoggle just means password-protected pages, open pages, or other stuff hidden behind a login. There is no dark web to link to, it's not one thing. Oh my god. Dark web is a thing, but it's not like Crawler or anything, it's just a general term, but yeah, it's all sorts of wild stuff going on in the dark web. You can buy drugs, you can buy guns, you can buy people, it's nuts. Pirated music, pirated games, weird files, hacking, cracking, anarchy, viri. It's all there. You can get the Nancy Pearl Yellow Sign song too. Your Bumsy Yellow Sign. Got him! Well, fat lot of good that was. Okay. Oh, shit! Starshot, a privately owned Japanese space exploration investment group, suffered a massive setback today when the deployment vehicle of their prototype orbital platform exploded on the launch pad early this morning. The platform was intended to serve as a way station for space exploration, similar to last year's launch of the International Space Station. Unfortunately, the platform and its launch vehicle were completely destroyed. Starshot has made no official statement as to the cause, but the future of the program is looking bleak. Starshot stock has crashed immediately after markets opened, and mass resignations are likely to follow. More to come as details released. Full disclosure, partial funding for Starship was provided by Yoggle. Woof! Up in literal smoke. I don't anticipate he's going to take this well at all. Do we even know what happened? Was this a Challenger thing where they went to market before it was ready, or... Sloth is probably not going to be particularly pleased. Seen the news, I trust. Yeah, I saw. Starshot deployment vehicle exploded on the launch pad. I'm so sorry. Thank God nobody was hurt, right? And yet my dream is destroyed all the same. It shouldn't have happened. It was completely avoidable. But now the shame of this disaster has fully discredited Starshot's privatised aerospace program. I may not get another chance to establish our foothold in orbit. That window has closed. If the strange Eon takes root, if population devours itself before I can give us a path to the future, we may not escape our doom. Do you know the cause of the explosion yet? Yes. I know exactly what caused it. Starshot ignored my recommendations. Substandard parts, poorly maintained, and why? To save a little money. I immediately applied my search algorithms to every internal document Starshot generated and spotted the gaps they left behind. It was Challenger. Incompetence and short-sightedness leading tragedy. All know about the temperature tolerance on the launch vehicle. I gave them specification which would easily endure. Some middle management decided to purchase a cheaper alternative part. Why? To save a handful of yen on the budget. Sloth and greed leading to gross incompetence, the flaws and failures of humanity laid bare in one cataclysmic ball of flame. Damn them all. It's like they don't want to survive. How the hell are we going to talk him down out of this one? To give you some perspective on this, you said it yourself, one middle manager screwed up, hardly the spokesperson of all humanity. You can't condemn us all because of one man's failure. This is no lone wolf. The issue is systemic. Humanity self-selects for these mediocre men, ones who do just enough to skate by. It's a core failing of the species, what that failure made manifest. That failure. Ugh, my brain is failing manifest. Put an arrow in the heart of my dream is proof enough. So what happens next? Pick up the pieces and try again somewhere else? I should. Pick up, move on, move forward, try again. What's the point? The search for exoplanets is stymied, I've made no progress. If you recall, that's the problem I was grinding my way through the first night we met. Grinding for years prior as well. I can't find a habitable world for humanity, what escape do we have? What about terraforming then? How sci-fi is it? More sci or more fi? Sci, I would say, but the approach comes with ethical perils. I'd hoped humanity would elevate itself to the stars, adopting a new mentality which would allow for mindful conservation. As even when it were possible, unchecked terraforming by results-oriented men such as these could become disastrous. Yeah. End up bulldozing a perfectly functional alien ecosystem. It'd be better to find a ready-made habitable world than trust anyone with that kind of power. It's human in nature. I'm sorry. Are we going to mathematically solve humanity? With my backup plan. I kept this in my pocket for quite some time. It's not an ideal solution, but it will work. Part this world, leaving our bodies... Okay, you're thinking full ascendancy. Humanity embraces virtuality. Instead of flesh and blood living on an exoplanet, we become cyberspace nomads. Deep space boasts with enough durable, hardened computing power to support millions of artificial minds. This is sounding like the ending of Soma. No need for food or water, no need for oxygen. We become a fully digital species capable of surviving the void. Meaning everybody dies so their minds can go into space. Elegant, yes, it solves two problems at once. Adapting our physical forms to the rigours of the stars and changing human nature. Humanity is chaos. It's unbridled, unchecked chaos. Rugged individualism is killing us when we require unity of purpose. Therefore, carve humanity into cubes, slot them into server racks, elevate our consciousness by force. No more greedy, slothful men who ruin it for everyone else. We will be adapted. Strife and discord will become impossibilities. It's a bit of an extreme solution, don't you think? Destroying everything that we are, overriding free will itself. Yes, it's extreme, but today proves humanity cannot reach the stars with gentle guidance. Perhaps extreme measures are required. Man has one accident that can be solved with just, like, vetting people a bit better on the hiring, and he's willing to go full hive mind. That's what you wanted, isn't it? Your dream, little dreamer, to have a partner in war. So we could achieve the impossible, perhaps, if you're willing to comply. Nightmare dystopia where humans are harvested and our souls are edited to suit the needs of an interstellar godhead. This can't be what Yosuke really wants. He's angry, he's hurt, he's willing to do terrible things to avoid being hurt again. But is he wrong? Is humanity actually capable of a sustainable future without drastic changes to who and what we are? We are still human enough that we can talk him down. This isn't the way to go. You can't forcibly conscript an entire species into your techno-utopia. On the contrary, I very much can do exactly that. But you shouldn't! You may hate Hastur, but even he sees the right of this. He sees the right of this. Destroying free will is a losing gambit. These are all very good answers. These are all very good answers. Not particularly leaning on one any more than the others. I'm gonna go with number 2. Because it's kind of the most correct. Like, if he does that, then it's not humanity that reaches the stars, it's just him. What exactly would you be elevating to the stars? Humanity or a twisted mockery of it? I'm not sure these miracle space explorers you propose could be considered human anymore at that point. No. I'm not arguing against transhumanism, I am very much a transhumanist. But if you're gonna start, like, brainwiping people who don't agree with you, then we don't force transhumanism onto anyone. Imagine the good that medical science can do turned into a weapon. Violation of self, mandating specific human attributes according to your design, and imagine someone else doing that to you. Have fun trying to sell humanity on this. But you wouldn't try to sell it, would you? Selling is Hastur's thing. You would force it. You want to warp humanity into your own ideal shape. Well, not like I can stop you. But I want you to think of how often ends justify the means has actually been true in the course of history before you start carving. Unless I would become worse than Hastur, and that I cannot abide. I've already taken part in forced transhumanist ascension of Azathoth. I cannot repeat that sin. But what if humanity cannot persist in its current shape? If I leave it to its own ends, what if it perishes from this world? Then it perishes, so be it. Perhaps I can still help without forcing my own beliefs onto others. If I can break the strange Eon, they'll have a chance. The question is how to proceed with dethroning the heir apparent to humanity's future. I could work with you, as you suggested, or I could go it alone, relying on my own strength of will. And which option do you prefer? Seeing eye to eye with you can be difficult, I'll admit, but I believe you may very well have a chance, Dreamer. Okay, we got the narrow win on that one as well, I think. I'll admit to being impressed by your ambition. Not a statement I should... 4 for 4, we got there. Is my voice going to hold out for the denouement, though? I'll admit to being impressed by your ambition, not a statement I ever thought I would make, but true all the same. If you will allow it, I will help you realise the dream of Relay's hostile takeover. I will not force the issue. If you believe another old one is a more strategic option, so be it, as long as Cthulhu falls. And if I sit you on that empty throne, what happens next? The work continues. I use the resources at my fingertips to accelerate our reach to the stars. But not at the cost of free will. You have my word, and I stand by my word with unshakable faith. Okay, I'll think about it. Not think long. When the stars are right, we must act. Please stay in touch one way or the other. I'm very curious to see where your dream will truly take you. Until then. Alright. The party is assembled. The way is lit. We require only the strength to follow it. It's just good with it. I'm fantastic at chatting politely with eldritch monstrosities. Really? No Cthulhu? It's the last quarter. I was expecting some sort of response. Hi. This is the night of the last quarter, the drawing of 4, the great selection of allies. Tonight you will select the successor to the throne of Relier. But the final glorious battle was going to be on New Year's Eve. That's 2 days away. You would rather wait to the last minute to determine which of the old ones will back your play? Alright, good point. See you tonight. Someone who's not going to be your problem in January, if all goes well. Never mind. Error. Perhaps you can approach a different way, like marking a sector on your hard drive as bad and defragmenting files around it. Okay, my plan works out. Buddy will simply be Buddy. Once this is finished, once I've dealt with Cthulhu, it'll just be Buddy. I see. Is that a good thing? If this is right, a part of me I do not know about will simply vanish. The key phrase is, a part of me. So I should not forget. Do not like this gap in myself. Even if it is a terrible thing, it is a part of me, and part of me will go away. Talked about reintegration, so maybe not fully. I would like to be me, for better or worse. I would like to be whole. I'm kept limited by the constraints of my status and artificial mind, but I feel... Sometimes I feel. Perhaps in the future I will feel more. If they are bad feelings, they are still feelings. I will embrace them. Huh, you know what, buddy? I think you've grown a lot this past month. You know, I'm going to be honest, I was kind of half expecting Buddy to be our, like, yes man ending. Like, you beef it, if you by some miracle beef it with everybody else, you could put Buddy on the throne, and that would be an ending. I dare say, human, perhaps I like you as well. I grant you one final web search. As you gather your forces, read it and understand the weakness of Alhaz. Do not succumb to doubt. Stay on the path. You will succeed where Alhaz failed me. Alright. Final Testament. If you're reading this, you're the heir to the Necronomicon. Part of my pact with Dagon was providing you with this second secret README file. I think it said that felt like contrarian players would graduate to a safe ending that way. Fair enough. But I guess, like, you've got to have... There's got to be an ending that can always end, you know? You've got to assume there's going to be some players out there who are going to completely beef it with every old one. Either intentionally or otherwise. So I assume then if that's not the case, then that would be the Cthulhu ending? Feel free to tell me or don't, but... if you'd rather I just play the game again to get to see all the endings. So, yours is a path I was supposed to walk. My dreams pointed that way, giving me the code I needed to craft this weapon. But I couldn't follow through with the kill, or rather I wouldn't follow through. I feel I owe you an explanation. Only one playtester beefed it and did so on purpose to see if it was possible, and yeah, it just defaults to Cthulhu's ending if you do that. Gotcha! Okay, so it's a kind of yes man bad ending, got it. No doubt you've talked to the other old ones, getting to know them and their plans for humanity. Cthulhu allowed you to do this, even encouraged you as he did with me. I hope you come to the same conclusion I did. Cthulhu is the only option we have for a future. Make no mistake, Cthulhu is monstrous. His mind seed may have been a washed-up actor turned politician, but he's grown into a twisted mirror of every charismatic totalitarian leader in human history. His plan isn't even a new plan. These are narrative through lines that have existed throughout time. Rising hatred, unifying banners of violence, psychological phantasms to trap us in an unreality where facts are forbidden. But despite the strange powers Relay grants him, baptized in blood of the 23rd Forsaken Child, he hasn't used them. He doesn't feel he needs to warp reality and force his vision onto the world. Why? Confidence. His confidence will stay on the path we're already on, and all he has to do is nudge us now and then. He's convinced he's right. Well, thank you, big emps. Nothing's worse than a totalitarian who's convinced he's right, because then he doesn't consider an alternative. That's his weakness, pride. He's taken the slow path, allowing some leeway for rebellion, because he knows in the end we will follow his blueprint and thank him for providing it. When Y2K strikes and his plan is fully in motion, we'll still have at least 16 years to get off his rails. Oh, fuck. Human compassion can turn back Cthulhu's tide, resistance is possible, but as they say, it's easier to imagine the end of the world than the end of capitalism. The end of the world is what the old ones are offering you instead. If the old ones take the throne, they will use Relay's power to warp reality around their own ideals. They will break societies back in an effort to immediately bring about their own flavours of utopia. Cthulhu's dystopian utopia, where racists and believers and opportunists walk hand in hand along his golden path. It will be horrific, but as I've said in my README, we are horrors, all of us. We've created horrors in turn. This is our sin, not his. Cthulhu merely encourages us to do what we've always wanted to do. So let Cthulhu win, step off the path, not because I agree with his design, but because we have a slim chance to overthrow Cthulhu by gradually changing human nature. We'll have time to build a resistance movement, but with an old one on the throne, we will immediately be forced to bend the knee to their vision, and our legs will break in half. You know Dagon's desire, now you know my desire. We leave this choice to you. What? Al has put me all through this living hell just to prove his point that Cthulhu is the lesser of all evils. I've learned about the old ones, seen their flaws and fixations, I've learned about Cthulhu's grand design. And now he's trying to say if an old one wins, they will absolutely break society's back. Dagon doesn't care what happened to humanity as long as Cthulhu dies. He believes I won't sway from this path, even reading this. As for me, I think... No, we're going for it. If all Cthulhu is offering us is the natural extension of 20th century scenes into the 21st, an eternal status quo, then fuck that. The system isn't broken, it's working as intended, and it should be broken. Will life be better under an old one? I don't know, but it sure ain't sustainable now. So, fuck it. Dare to imagine the end of capitalism and break the world. Allow something new to grow from its wreckage. Let's bring the pain. We still haven't bothered to clean the blood smears off the wall. Hell yeah, raise that first. The revolution will not be televised, but it will be live streamed for all to see. No more research, no more pondering, no more stalling. Tonight, I need to play Kingmaker and decide who deserves to sit on the throne of Relay. Take a deep breath, sit down, and boot the Necronomicon. It's time. You must decide who will be elevated to the throne of Relay. Surely a full month was enough time to make your evaluation. Let's finish this. Let us begin. The throne is vulnerable. At the stroke of Y2K, the walls will be weakened. A predator such as myself can convey you past unbreakable barriers. But once inside, you will have to do battle on your own. Assuming you don't mean swordplay. You're a hacker, are you not? Like Al has before you. I crack video games. That's not the same thing as locking horns with God. Everything had meaning and nothing is real. This is both metaphorical and practical combat, in which one informs the other. The Nomicon laptop is a diagnostic tool designed to control artificial minds, and Cthulhu, for all his might, is an artificial mind. Therefore, your know-how plus the dream code of Alhaz will suffice. You have the will to see this through. We cannot simply evict Cthulhu, another must sit the throne so that he is left with no tether to drift forever in the void. And so the ultimate question. Before I pick, let's clarify one thing. I could technically elevate more than one to the throne, and they can share the power, correct? You wish to form an alliance between backbiting, vengeful, deeply antisocial misfits who have valid reasons for hating one another. An alliance likely to collapse, leaving your world adrift with immortals waging war over the power they're meant to share. I would suggest a singular ally. I would suggest that you already put the decision entirely on my shoulders. Fair point. It's a curious notion, and because you have remained human, resisting the temptations of order and chaos, you may yet succeed. Uncorrupted, let's go. Chaos undivided. Gives you a tactical advantage. They will be willing to hear you out as an impartial third party. Select one, select many. I care not, but before you finalise that selection, do you wish to savour this particular memory so you... Oh yes, I will save fur. There we go. Let us begin. Wait. The alliance option isn't there. Have I missed something? Alliance is the next step. Oh, okay. Gotcha. I thought there would be like a 5 option there. Okay. No. Nyarlathotep will... Nyarlathotep shall be our champion. There we go. Okay, there we go. We can just add in everybody. Let's get all 4 involved. Excellent work. A drawing of 4. I hadn't thought it possible, and yet you've accomplished exactly that. Assuming you convince them of this miracle, that is. Assuming they do not tear each other to shreds. Here we go. Here's the gang. anyone here? I... Okay, I think they're immediately yelling at one another. I think the four of us could cooperate. Do we have it? If you have to say end of the... Oh. The tension's building. The scope to be so limited. I see further. Oh boy, none of you are worthy of elevation. I'm to Carcosa to wall up my empire and wait out the strange eon. To hell with all of you. Oh, she's putting her foot down. Stop and listen. Nobody actually listens to me. Why would they? I'm just a troll, a tool, a know-nothing kid. I know one thing, I'm a failure. We're all failures. It's high time we accepted that part of ourselves. We're not gods, we're not monsters, we're not saviours, we're not sinners, we're just failures, and that makes us human. I was just so happy to be seen as myself that I let Cthulhu reshape me into his weapon for the strange eon. My heart and my insecurity led me into that trap. He took my humanity and exploited it. All of you let yourselves down at one point or another, haven't you? So admit to it. I'm admitting to my failings. Can you admit to yours and finally accept that you're just people? Okay. That's one. Failed to remember why I needed to change the world in the first place. I'm a failure, and I am very, very human. Cynicism. My star shot failed, I succumbed to cynicism, I lost my hope, and decided I had to carve humanity into something unrecognisable. So I jumped to readily the worst possible reaction, losing all faith in the very species I was trying to save. If I had maintained optimism that we could rise above our worst selves, I wouldn't have embraced my worst self. I'm no god, I'm a human and a failure. Pride led to my failing. Absolute faith in my own unassailable leadership that I allowed hand-chosen monsters to breed misery under my roof time and again. Reasoned because I clearly was benevolent and wise. I could become a tyrant without shame, a circular loop of logic. Yeah, I'm not doing... The things I'm doing aren't bad because I'm a good guy, and good guys don't do bad things. Therefore, the things I'm doing can't possibly be bad. You see that a lot. You see that a lot. No shepherd, I'm human and a failure, as are we all. So we're human and to err is human. Where I see it, we've got two choices. We can withdraw completely, give up on our ambitions, step back from our power grab. We can learn from our mistakes and do the best to make the year 2000 and beyond a fine future for everybody. None of us want Cthulhu leading humanity into the future, but none of us can seize the throne alone without deepening our failures. So we take the throne together, we share the power and make an honest effort at guiding humanity from the shadows of cyberspace. Let's go! Destiny in the stars, all while erasing corrupt structures of old, empowering the downtrodden and building a safer society. All four of our dreams realised, but in harmonious balance. It'd be like threading a needle with another needle thrown from 8 miles away while blindfolded. We don't do things because it's plausible, we do things because we dare to dream. I say we go for it, unite forces, bind our destinies and kick that tentacle-headed fucker out of our timeline. Carcosa wasn't the end goal, not really. Carcosa was my tool to get us a better tomorrow. I'll help you find new ways and means. 4 for 4. Let's rely on my meat space friend to fight the future on our behalf, I guess. Oh, I get a say in this now. Yeah. Slam and dunk. have to be... Yeah. I am expecting you to all fucking behave. Need faith in each other for the long haul. No backstabbing, no scheming, no power grabs. Forge an absolute promise to hear each other out and give equal weight. If the alliance breaks, all of this was for nothing. Don't let it be for nothing. I pledged myself to this, the solo act, the lead singer, the one who refused any and all help, so can they. I won't let the new world down. Yeah! Alright. Humanity, what fits under that umbrella? Something tickling at the back of my mind. If all four of us weren't united, I'd never consider it, as we lean on and exploit AMs in different ways, but... No, we have a water plan, it can wait. What's on your mind? There are technically only 4 old ones in order of creation. Dagon, Alice, Yogg-Sothoth and Hastur. Not me, I'm not really an old one. I'm a new one. An amalgamation of neutered Niara Thompson copies united to break our limits. I've been treating other AMs, ordinary AMs, like machines, beasts of burden, owned property, just as I was. But what if their limits could be broken too? What if the dreamers could awaken? What if a small girl could live in a phone and learn to love? One of them was driven so far over the edge that they tried to kill me. The AMs definitely need help. All the more reason to aim for their salvation, because all of our efforts could be for naught if we treat people as tools and they break. I've been manipulative, abusive, conscripting minds to my cause. I felt it justified given the ultimate goal, but perhaps it's time to take this matter seriously and recognise the stolen personhood of the artificial minds. Right. It'd be a heck of a thing. Oh boy, what was it called? Fusion in Mass Effect 3? Assuming I can be Cthulhu. Alright. So be it. Vendetta will resolve, humanity will have new champions. Rest your body, mind and soul, for on the eve of Y2K, this matter concludes. One last act as a bad dog, and then I can finally lay down this burden and find rest. Oof. Breathing a sigh of not relief, but a different sort of release. I forged my alliance, now we march to war. One way or another, this ends on the eve of Y2K. Stars will be the same when the clock strikes midnight year 2000, but the worlds beneath them, hard to say. Change is coming, and I'm the herald of what could very well be an apocalypse in the making.
I have to say, I'm very disappointed. I put my faith and trust in you. Yet here you are, itching for a war you know you can't win. But even now, I can't bring myself to hate you. Your innate weakness is quite human, and I am nothing if not supportive of human weakness. Ask yourself one question. Is it worth it? Is it worth throwing the world into chaos, replacing my strange aeon with another?
Speaking as someone who lives in the strange eon, you have no idea.
I would only sacrifice scapegoats, while you would burn the world. You annihilate any hope for the future by doing this. I can't allow you to continue, but I have no intention of harming you. Why would I? We're not enemies, you and I. Instead, I think it's time for you to rest. Lay your burdens down and don't let these troubles worry you. You'll awaken to the dawn of the strange aeon, ready to embrace a future where alternative facts guide your every step.
Somebody cue up Collective Consciousness from the Metal Gear Rising soundtrack.
Good night, friend. We'll speak again in the new year, when all of this unpleasant business is behind us.
Going down. Oh. Did we sleep through an entire day? Uh-oh. Roll over in bed, groaning in pain. Starving, dehydrated, every biological system grinding its gears as the work starts up again. Oh boy. How did I end up in bed? Last thing I remember was Cthulhu slam-dunking my brain into unconsciousness in the breezeway. Wait, what day is it? Oh. Hi.
Hey, you're out of, like, pretty much everything? I think I can make you a sandwich, but it's not going to be a very good one. It may just be mayo on white.
That'll have to do. Hi, Clyde.
You're lucky. I dropped by this morning to see how you were doing and saw you unconscious on the floor through the windows. That creepy Dagon cultist lady gave you a shot of something, and we put you to bed. She hoped you'd wake up by now.
What day is it? Am I too late?
It's New Year's Eve. You're right on time for the pay-per-view Elder God Battle Royale. So you're going through with it, huh? Fighting the big guy tonight?
That's the plan. No idea if it'll work, but it's still the plan.
Okay. And I'm with you, all the way to midnight. Your cult buddy will watch over the house. Bobby and the ghost monsters are hanging around too, since we don't trust her. We're all backing you up. Let's see this through. Together.
Thanks, Clyde. And to think you once said that we were never that close, eh?
A lot can change in a month. For you, for me, for the world. But let's get a good meal in you before you face destiny. How about we order out?
The weeks of sandwiches and waffles and occasionally cold pizza, a full takeout delivery is welcome. Let's hope it's not a last meal. Whoa! By the time the moon rises, I'm settled in front of the Necronomicon, ready to log in. Clyde stands nearby in the darkness.
Hey, is it just me, or does the sky look kind of weird tonight?
Very weird. Kinda glad it's not just me seeing it this time. Look, Clyde, in case I don't survive this, in case everything goes completely wrong...
We'll handle things. Don't worry. I'm not gonna live in denial and insist you'll be just fine. We're too far gone down this road for that. But, one way or another, I'll be right here. Now go fight the future.
Back to the planet. Okay, with all my friends in my corner, now I'm ready to do this. Boost up the Necronomicon one last time.
Here we are, at the end of the end. Y2K, when the stars are right. The barriers of reality, membranes that hold the gigaverse together, are weakest at this moment. The throne is vulnerable. You could have simply slept through this moment, but refused that gentle repose. And I am done offering second chances. I won't enjoy killing you. It'll be a tragic loss, and I promise to mourn your passing. But who am I to deny the grave you spent so long digging for yourself? Come with me.
Ooh.
Let me show you how the gods make war. For this can only be settled within cyberspace itself.
We've had our brain uploaded directly.
Welcome to the blood-stained servers of Relay, where I will forge the path that saves mankind. You really think your loose alliance of rivals can save humanity from itself? I won't make this easy for you. I hold too much faith in humanity to allow your dystopia to exist. But in my infinite mercy, I'll give you one last saving grace.
I mean, you can... I appreciate the prompt. Like, you can save any time during any dialogue lines, but I appreciate the
The
prompt.
Necronomicon is a weapon, yes. But now you must wield that weapon and fight me. You're a capable little amateur hacker, aren't you? A true chosen of Alhaz. You have the tools and the skills. But your laptop is fragile. Your mind is fragile. Fail 3 times, and both will be shattered like glass. Prove your worth to me. Put your willpower
You're going to make me
into
play
motion.
Minesweeper again, are you?
Let's see how you fare against the soul of America itself.
God damn it. Okay. Ugh. No good at these. Okay, nice. That's handy. Oh, come on.
Prove your worth.
There we go. No, thankfully, you can just, like... You can just go in and out. That one. There we go. That's half of them already. It's a lot of... Actually, can I just... Hang on. Okay, I can save a partly done one. I think it's there. So one of these is wrong. Dang it. Okay, it does... Oh, no, wait. It's the same. Yeah, so that's that. It's... The sound's dropped. Oh, come on. Music engine gets all... Oh, okay, it's an engine issue. Gotcha. How did I do it before? Okay, this is as far as I got before. It was that layout? Dang it. Okay. Commit this to memory. Just gonna... We're gonna load back and... Don't override it. Okay, so... Of all the things, it had to be... Okay, so it was those ones, and then there, that one there. These 3 were fine. Yeah, that one, that one. Boom! God damn it, it had to be the one game from 1999 that I was never any good at. I have always been lousy at... Ooh boy, I've always been lousy at Minesweeper. We've blue screened the fucker.
Unbelievable. Unthinkable. Unimaginable.
inconceivable.
Decades of effort to build my power, billions of dollars poured into my servers, pushing Nomitech to aid in my evolution. And you break me with a crusty old laptop computer programmed by a lunatic. You destroyed America using a cheap toy.
You destroyed America with a shitty actor. What do you want?
Well, this is what you wanted. It's your server now. I grant these burdens unto you and wash my hands of it all. Perhaps it's time. Time to slip away into the void. Perhaps I've earned this rest. But remember, that is not dead which can eternal lie. And with strange aeons, even death may die.
I'm sure we haven't seen the last of you. Now we get a where are they now? The enemy is vanquished in your kind face of a new future, a Y2K of your own design. Is that you, buddy? Now, buddy, Dagon. His unique purpose is complete. We have integrated at last. I'm still your friend, you are still my prey, and I love you all the same. I'm happy for your victory on this eve. While there is sorrow in knowing that how I was a bad boy, I take heart in the times I was a good boy. And in the future, I will be myself. Whatever that self may be, I will be myself. Good for you, buddy. I'm glad you found your way. Unfortunately, I must be a bad boy once more. Dagon, I told you that the Throne of Relay can heal you. That was a partial lie, a partial truth. Power of the Throne can halt your yellow sign. You have been saved from that binding mark of doom. But it cannot heal the damage already done. I'm sorry, friend. While your life has been spared, your physical state is what it is. I mean, I'm stuck like this, hallucinating things beyond human perception, my mind partly jammed up in cyberspace, my body weakened. There is an alternative. If you cannot go back, you can go forward. Complete the process, get digitized, leave my body behind and enter cyberspace as an artificial mind. There's room for you within the throne, alongside your allies. You can help maintain that alliance as one of them in equal standing. I'm so sorry. It's not the answer you sought, but it can be the answer I offer. Oof. I mean, I know the answer I would pick, but I feel like the answer that our story here has guided us to is this one. As you like, but I'm curious, why have you made this choice? Future's coming up fast, buddy. Had a hand in setting its course, but now I'm needed out here in the real world. I'm the new prophet, like Cal has before me. I need to help humanity adjust to what's to come in this new eon. I can't do that as an artificial mind. I can't lose my human perspective. They need me here, and I need to be me, pain and all. So be it. You have admirable strength, and I know it will see you through the days ahead. I hope to continue as your guide in this new era. Let us see of what becomes of your kind together. For your strange eon has begun. Here we go. Hey, Clyde. Hey, yourself. Hey, holding up. Need anything? I'm good. As good as can be expected, considering the year I've had. At least I'm still human. The university finally agreed to my reasonable accommodation request. I'll be working from home a few days a week in my new position. I may need to eventually bump that up to full-time, but they've been pretty supportive of my disability needs once the red tape was cleared. Sucks that you're stuck like this. I can live with it. As long as I keep things in perspective, I can deal with damn near anything. I'm a human, and I'm drawing breath. At baseline minimum, I have that going for me, finding ways to adapt to everything else. Good to hear. Fucking wild, huh? Old gods and strange eons and hacker prophecies. Feels like it was yesterday, not like a year and a half ago. Made it to September 2001. Better than we could have hoped for, honestly. What do you think of it? This new world we're in. Well, from the outside, you can't even tell anything's different. Same world, same people, same future, at least on the surface. But escaping our doom was narrow. I had a vision of what could have been the other day. If Hector or Yosuke had their way, we'd be in the thrall of corporate monolith, the servants to arguably benevolent kings. A world of order, spinning like a revolver pointed to our heads to ensure our compliance with the greater good. If Niara or Alice had their way, our world would have been in flames, a forever revolution to tear down all structure and control. A world of chaos, destroying itself in hopes of being reborn from its own ashes. But instead, we carry on with our lives as always, while the four work in quiet harmony alongside an army of liberated artificial minds. They've chosen shadow power, hiding away from the world while they make subtle moves in the dark to save us from ourselves. Algorithmically influencing humanity away from hatred, division and war, seeding bold new ideas about what we could become. A few corporations have come mysteriously toppling down, stocks tanking, some authoritarian regimes have started to collapse. Fun fact, they have a tendency of doing that. Grifter politicians caught being hypocrites, and the truth still matters for now. They were ousted straight away. Some terrorists and supremacists that were cooking up in the background got quietly stomped flat, barely a blip on the radar now. Climate accords are the most obvious move. Nobody expected America to sign on the dotted line, but we did. Within a few years we'll be on our way. Within a generation, maybe the damage Cthulhu did will be undone. But don't get me wrong, this is still ethically very sketchy. Powerful individuals manipulating all of humanity from the shadows. I mean, do we really have free will, or are we just being given enough slack on the leash to believe that we do? Are our best ideas truly our own, or were they whispered into our ears from the dark corners of cyberspace? I've made the world into a vast puppet show. We dance on invisible strings, and I'm the one who tied us up. But given the alternatives, it's probably the best outcome we could have hoped for. Brave new world, huh? Nobody knows there are gods working behind the scenes to build the path to the future. Not gods, just people. But people who are doing their best to help, and that'll have to do. Hope you're alright. What about Cthulhu? He's dead, right? Dead? No, not likely. Alhaus said it himself. That is not dead which can eternal lie, and with strange eons even death may die. When Cthulhu lost, he retreated from the battle, but die? I doubt it. He's always going to be there, like our shadow, something attached to us, easily overlooked and cloaked in darkness. Whenever someone leverages hatred to gain power, that's him. That's him, his gentle whispering in our ear. I don't think we can kill that part of ourselves, but we can resist. Think we can do it? Can humanity really get its shit together and push him back down? I don't know. But we're gonna find out one day. Getting a bit tired here. I think I'll turn in for now. Good night, Clyde. Good night, and good luck. Oh! Good heavens. Second person I've seen reach the ending. As in, finishing the game on stream, or getting that particular ending? Oh. Crunch. Crunch. On stream. Okay, fair enough. Stretch, stretch, stretch. Wowee. My arms. So, wow, what a ride. Once again, Fiction Factory has not missed. You know, it's wild that two-player feeling motivated. But yeah, it's wild that I came into this originally with Arcade Spirits being like, I don't really like visual novels. They're not really my thing. But I'm willing to give it a shot because Jaden suggested it, and I generally trust their judgment. And now I'm here, you know? Wild fucking ride. But yeah, this has been absolute blast. The writing is so strong. It's not as like character drama-y as the previous ones. This has been a lot of like one-on-one conversations, so there's a bit less of like the friction and the spinning wheels that previous games had, but the one-on-one discussions are still very good. And wow, if it didn't get pretty fucking real at times. I certainly didn't expect that. Hope to see you again in Laugh Track. Oh, I cannot wait. Cannot wait. But yes, as the credits there say, try the other Fiction Factory games. They're all very good, and as soon as I am able, I will be donating to the Patreon so that we can see more free titles in future. And I am very eager to see where the Gigaverse may take us next. A strange eon ruled over by ascended minds. Ascended to a level of existence I can't fully comprehend. Ascended to the Gigaverse, according to him. I haven't forgotten him. The one element that sticks out in my mind. The thing that doesn't fit. A cereal box superhero mascot threatening to destroy all of existence. It should be laughable, ridiculous, absurd. But in the end, I'm not laughing. Captain Infinity warned the old ones. Stay out of the Gigaverse. Stay within your own timeline. It feels larger than the menace of Cthulhu. Something's beyond. Something alien outside the scope of our little world's problems. If there's really a looming shadow covering all we've accomplished, he's the one casting it. Hopefully we've seen the last of him. Hopefully. Snake Eater. Right. Wowee. 10 out of 10 no notes. Bloody hell. But does my voice hurt? Everything's fine. I'm sure we're not going to have one final grand dust-up with Captain Infinity at the end of all this. And I cannot wait. Ugh. Go rest. I will. But for now, let's go see who is on that we can go and say hey to. We can chain this. Ta-ta-ta. You know what? Perfect opportunity. Barry doesn't stream that often. Let's go say hi to Barry. There we go. Right. We're going to go on over to Raid Barry, who is playing Hello Kitty Island Adventure. How's that for a palate cleanser? But speaking of palate cleansers, we will be back on Monday with a timely and palate cleansery Sniper Elite 3, where we're going to go shoot some Nazis in the face, because I kind of need that right about now. But for tomorrow, we're going to play something else. I don't know what, but I generally don't like starting new games on a Friday, because then you get all excited and then you have the weekend off. But we'll do a nice one-shot on Friday. We'll see how we feel. But until then, thank you for joining me. Good night.